Good morning. So, do you find yourself sometimes when you have a project you want to take on or something you need to create, or I don't know, a difficult conversation you need to think through and prepare for, and somehow you feel stuck, the ideas aren't flowing, and as the time passes and the ideas aren't flowing, you get more and more stressed, and that doesn't help with the flow, obviously, because the more stress you get, the less the ideas are flowing. So I have a question. I have a story to tell you that may help with that. Last week I had to do an MRI for my lower back, and because I'm claustrophobic, this was not something I was looking forward to. It was taking up a lot of my mental space, basically stressing about that, even though I was doing it in an open MRI machine made for people like me. And at the same time last week, I really had to focus on writing the final part of my second book, my epilogue, which I had been postponing for months, many months. And I couldn't postpone anymore because I had to hand it in to the publisher this week. So I went to, do my MRI, and I sit on that machine because it was, like upright sitting. And a note here, it's much easier to stay still for 25 minutes if you're lying down than if you have to sit. And an MRI means you have to stay still. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So as I'm sitting there and trying to figure out ways to stay still, I'd say to myself, okay, I'm going to try to meditate. So I start, I close my eyes, start focusing on my breath. I start repeating a mantra because that helps me. And slowly I start to relax and not feel like, my back is hurting or something is itching. So not the urge to move. But, my thoughts I keep having to bring my thoughts back to the breath. Time passes. I open my eyes. It's only been 10 minutes. So I'm like, okay, this is clearly not working well enough. What else should I do? And I decide to do nothing and to just sit there. And I have to, I don't have anything to keep me busy. There's a screen showing, beautiful koala bears, but that wasn't particularly interesting. So I close my eyes and just sit there and do nothing. And, after a few minutes, something strange happens. I started thinking about the epilogue, and the ideas started flowing. And basically, I started writing the epilogue in my mind. And before I knew it, the person, who was doing the MRI was like, yeah, we're done. And, the next 20 minutes had passed. And I hadn't even realized what was going on. And it was a little frustrating because, the minute I came out, I went to my phone and started writing down notes frantically so I wouldn't forget. But this is just to say that, as soon as I gave myself, well, I didn't exactly give myself the space. I had to, create the space of doing nothing or not being able to do anything. That's when my mind got really creative. And again, this is to say that sometimes there's so much going on around us, there's so many decisions we have to make, so much stimulus coming in, that it's impossible to completely switch off and think creatively. And sometimes you just have to be in the void, in the nothingness. There should be like absolute blank space for you to be able to create something to take that space. So I just wanted to share this experience because I talk a lot about, getting really quiet and taking a pause. And this is exactly what I mean. You don't have to be stuck in an MRI machine to do that. You can actually create that for yourself. When you get up in the morning, you can, just sit still for a few minutes and not do anything, not necessarily think about anything. The thoughts will come or the inspiration will come. Or if you go for a walk, you don't necessarily need to put your AirPods on and listen to a podcast or listen to an audiobook. You can just also not listen to anything and just listen to yourself. So next time you're looking for answers, I recommend you try this out. It might surprise you how effective this is. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever tried that. I'd love to exchange notes here. And I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.